Rest days, mate. We'll talk about that now on the camera, actually.
Well, good.
Hi, everyone. It's Raymond Wood. We're here with Kai for the halftime with Kai. Kai, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Ray. How are you?
So, first thing I want to ask you, how's Liverpool treating you? How's the weather over there? What's it like?
It's actually, but it's getting warmer. It's getting closer to summer now, which is good. It's a bit windy today, light
Yeah.
drizzle, but yeah, not too cold.
Now, we were just talking off air a little bit, but I thought it's really important to chat about this for players who are on our program and to understand what it's like when you're at the pro level like you are currently. You said you've got a day off today. What's the reason behind that and why have you got a day off?
Had a heavy week. We've had a couple of games, and yeah, just need the legs need a bit of a rest. So we've got the day off, lots of recovery and eating well. So yeah.
Yes, that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. So obviously, because you're training full time as a professional, when you're on your day off, first thing is like, do you notice any changes in your nutrition? Do you actually load up more, or do you eat less, or do you get advice on that? What's it like being there?
They give us a lot of advice on what's recommended to eat on when obviously we have a very high intensity day. Load up on your carbs and your proteins after your training session, and yeah, make sure you get a lot of fluids and yeah.
Ah, that's good, mate. And then in regards to recovery, is it like literally just, feet off the floor, feet up, resting, lying on a bed, a couch, watching TV, or are you doing
No,
anything physical?
so through my recovery, what I do personally is I'm off to the gym reasonably straight after our game. I'm in
Yeah.
the sauna, I'm in the steam room, I'm doing pool mobility, and then I'm on the bike doing 15 to 20 minutes, just getting the legs going, keeping the blood through, bit of stretching, bit of rolling, and then maybe a light gym session after upper body. And then I come home, protein shake, lots of fluids, and I try to stay off my feet as much as possible. And then obviously we have evening meal as a team, so we're getting a lot of carbs and a lot of protein, which is good. And then just before bed, I like to use my leg compressions just to
Yeah.
make sure I get a lot of blood through my legs, and yeah, helps me sleep. So
That's good. And now you found that you've got your nutrition on point and your recoveries are going well. You found that it's working in your favor. It's definitely
oh
helping you.
yes, 100%. I don't feel tired when I get up. I just feel nice,
Yeah.
Body doesn't ache.
So when you
So
think back to when you were living in Australia when I first met you, and obviously you were a lot younger, it was a couple of years ago now, but in comparison to where you are now with your game, do you think you've definitely gone in the right direction?
100%.
Yeah. Now, you obviously, since we last spoke to you, we believe you had a game last weekend. Who have you played against
Yeah,
recently?
so we played against Morecambe Scholars, so
Yeah.
Morecambe Academy's pro scholars, um, under 18s, which was a very, very good experience. It's good to see where I'm at again up to them. So and yeah, we lost 3-0, but they were just more clinical. They're very good at doing the basics really well, and that's all it is. Yeah, they played well, and we had so many chances, and we just couldn't finish. So
Yeah, so just for everyone watching, just to explain who Morecambe are and where they are. So Morecambe's not too far north of Liverpool. It's close to Blackpool.
yeah,
And not many people might have heard of Morecambe, but they do have a really, really good academy and a scholar system. And the reason why is you get a lot of players in the area who have played for Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Everton, even as far afield as places like Carlisle and Newcastle. And Morecambe's very, very good at picking up scholars who've been released from academies at 16, at pro academies, and then they pick them up and take them into their system. So for Kai to say that they've lost 3-0 to Morecambe doesn't surprise me because some of those boys, I guarantee, would have been at some of the big clubs for many, many
yeah,
years. And it must be pleasing for you, Kai, because this is like what I've taught you and you've realised yourself over the years. But to be involved in a game where it's a real challenge and you lose 3-0, it's actually a win in a way because you know you've actually developed and learned something rather than being on the other end and you win 3-0 and it's an
yeah.
easy game and you don't really learn anything from it. How has that really changed the way you look at football at the moment, especially while you're still developing?
Yeah, yeah, it's changed a lot. It really helps in my development. Just seeing how they are, how they play. And yeah, pretty much that's it.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a real good way to look at it. Now, I'm going to share something with you because I really would like your opinion on this, and this has been very topical this week. So I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully you can see my screen. And I'm going to show you the video. You see my screen, okay?
Yeah, I can.
Right, let me see if I can find this particular video. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now, this was Aston Villa versus Liverpool.
Yeah, I was
It
watching
was
that.
it was 2-all, and I think there was around about maybe 15, 20 minutes to go. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan, I'll be honest, personally, of Darwin Nunes. However, I like to call it how I see it. And everyone's come out and attacked Nunes in the football world. Now, you live in Liverpool, you're playing full time as a professional in Liverpool. Who's at fault for this, and who do you believe, Kai? What's your personal opinion?
I don't think it's Nunes' fault. I
Go
honestly
on,
think if that was me in uh his position,
slot.
I would have shot. Yeah, Soboslai's position, I would have shot
Yeah,
personally.
exactly that. And I'm going to zoom in on everyone for everyone to have a look at this. But what we work on in football, and I'm just going to pause it for a second. But when I was at Liverpool, when I was at Leicester City, when I was at PSG, one of the big things we educate players, and Kai knows this, and this is for everyone else who's listening, but we want you to try and get in a 1v1 situation. Now, if you can get in a 1v1 situation and isolate a player, a fullback, a defender, if you can take that player on, that's your job done. You agree with that, don't you, Kai?
Yeah.
Now, the golden nugget, what we're looking for players to do is to get in a situation where you're in a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. Now, if you just
There
have
you
a
go.
little look at this, I mean, at that point, like, I don't know about you, Kai, but I'm looking, thinking, I fancy my chances to the keeper's left, low into that corner.
Yeah, just look if just looking at the angle, if he was more to the right of the 6 yard box, yes, cut the ball back because it closes off the angle from the keeper. But he's almost straight on. He's got the whole goal to shoot at.
Now, one of the things that we teach players out of possession to do is to basically take players out of the picture. Now, when I look at this picture here, Darwin's done that job. He's actually taken two players with him to the far post. And
Yeah.
for me, that's the job done. He's done the big part. And when you look at this and you see how far up ahead Zlobozai is, and you look at this picture, Nunes is not even in the picture at this point. The fact that he makes it high up the pitch. Now, the reason why Nunes is running that far to the back of the goal is for two reasons, and Kai knows this. One reason is to pull the defender away with him to create the space for Zlobozlai to get in. But the second reason he's coming into the back post is in the event Zlobozlai shoots and it comes out on a rebound, Zlobozlai, Nunes can come in and pick up that ball potentially in and around the penalty spot. But I just couldn't believe that he squared the pass to Nunes, and then everyone's having a go at Nunes, and now they're saying they want to get rid of Nunes, and he misses too many chances. And I'm like, at the pace that Nunes is running, that is not an easy finish. And he's got a defender who's coming in to slide tackle him. So, yeah, I'm glad you said that, Kai, because I've spoken to a
Yeah.
lot of people. And the two or three people who've got football brains like yourself have said the same thing. It's not a Nunes problem. It's actually a Zlobozai problem. So, yeah, I'm glad you picked that one up and you identified that one for me. Now, I'm just gonna go into the app a little bit just to finish off. So something I wanted to touch base on here, and something that we're going to cover in our next episode in a fair bit more detail. And I'm going to give you a challenge as well. Now, you've been in the platform, Kai, and you've been having a nose in the community, and I know you've been messaging me and other players, which is been really great. But have you had the chance to look at the football mental strength training program?
No, not yet.
Have a little chance if you do over the next week when we catch up again. But what we're going to do is this is going to change slightly. There's going to be a lot more content getting put in. One of the
Okay.
areas that I want you to go into is mental toughness And there's a couple of tasks in there. And literally all I want you to do is on this one slide, I want you to have a little read of this mental toughness task. And I'll go over it quickly now. But one of the things that we've discovered over the past 20, 25 years is that, like a muscle, mental toughness is developed by working over a long period of time. You got to practice it lots, and you've got to plan it to become like automatic. So what we want to do is we want to draw up like a little bit of a task list. So to make a bit of fun with this, Kai, I'm going to get you to share your screen next week, and you're going to share
Okay.
your answers with me. So I'll send you this on a separate message so you don't forget. But what is in your control on the football pitch? Give us 3 to 5 answers. What's not in your control on the football pitch? So what we'll do is, for this first instance, before we finish off for today, is I'd love you to give me one thing that you think could be a huge distraction in your game if you're not careful. But what is not in your control on a football pitch, but if you think about it too much, could be detrimental to your game? Is the one that you can think of off the top of your head?
Other players' decisions
Yeah.
that you can't
So
control that.
what other players are doing. So that's a great one, what Kai touches on. Now, what we're going to do next week, when Kai gives us his 2 or 3 answers, we'll actually build on them. So just to build on Kai's one and to educate Kai a little bit as well, because remember, Kai's really just getting into the middle of his journey, but he's still got a long way to go as well, is that you can't be upset or angry on what an opposing player does, or even your own teammates do. And if that opponent makes a decision and tries to take it on and beat you, you can't be dwelling on that. You've got to actually focus on, like, if a player beats me in the game and he gets past me, what's my coach want me to do? But what would be the right thing to do in that situation? Now, Kyle will tell you the same as what I'll tell you. The situation is to recover behind the ball as quick as we can. The
Yeah.
big thing that Kyle agree with as well is numerical advantage. We want to get numbers behind the ball. Once we get numbers
Exactly.
behind the ball, then we look to win it back. So don't think because a player's beat you in a 1v1, it's the end of the world. It most definitely isn't, because if you've got good teammates around you, and Kai, I know you've got great teammates around you at SGA, you all trust in each other, don't you? That you're going to help each
Yeah.
other.
100%.
Now, to finish off the last one is, I'll just get you to give me one answer for now, but can you give me one that is in your control? So we've done that a little bit in reverse order, but what's one thing that is in your control on the pitch?
Your own decision making.
I love it.
So yeah,
So
your decision to go and press the ball could affect the player. Your decision to track back or not track back could affect it. So yeah.
So for everyone listening, hopefully you'll see where I've gone with this one, and I've been very clever in setting this half time up with Kai today. But what was one thing that was in Zlobozlai's control was shoot or square the ball.
Oh,
Now, what we done was, when I was in charge of youth phase at Leicester City. So for anyone who doesn't know what youth phase is 12 to 18s. We used to encourage players this 2 rules. You were allowed to beat one player on the pitch or run past one player. But if you got past one player or beat one player, you only had 2 options. It was to pass or to shoot. However, there was a final rule. If you were the final man in the pitch, which means you were the furthest up the field, you would never ever make a sideways pass or a backwards pass if you're in a 1v1 situation with a keeper. The only way you're going to get good in front of goal is by trying to beat the goalkeeper and score a goal. And that breeds confidence, and confidence breeds goals, and goals breeds winning, and winning breeds trophies. So I think for me, Zlobozlai, we don't want to attack Zlobozlai at Liverpool, and we don't want to be negative at him, but I think people need to be careful. Like, we need to look at Zlobozlai. He was the one who probably made the wrong decision. Now, hopefully, and I'm pretty sure he will be, Arne Slot will be working not just with Zlobozlai, but with the whole team, reminding them when they get in these situations. Because, Kai, you can imagine in a few weeks when Liverpool play PSG, second leg at
yeah.
Anfield, it could be 1-1 across the 2 legs. There's 10 minutes to go, and you get an opportunity like that. Hopefully that player learns from that lesson. And that's why I say sometimes there's a lot of negativity around Nunes at the moment, but I think this development that happened at Aston Villa, I think will actually come to fruition later on in the season. And I'm pretty much like a Mystic Meg at predicting the future. I guarantee I'm going to pull a video up, Kai, in the next couple of weeks, and I'm going to give you an example of that same counter attack, and that particular player will not square the ball. That particular player will score a winning goal, which you'll see a game out and over the line. So, do you agree?
Yeah.
So finally, Kai, before we let you go, we've got about 2 minutes of the half time with Kai for this week. What have you got on for the rest of the week? It's Friday there now. What have you got on Saturday, Sunday? And can you give some of our community a bit of an update?
Saturday I've got another game, and then Sunday we don't have a game this week, but the other team has a game, so we'll go support them. And then back to normal on Monday. 2 training sessions on Tuesday, game Wednesday, 1 session Thursday, and Friday another session, and Saturday game, Sunday game. So back to normal next week.
Amazing. Now, for you sitting here now talking to me, and you're in my hometown in Liverpool playing pro football, training as a pro every day, or looking back at your old life in Brisbane when you were in school and you were doing that 3 sessions a week with your MPL club and 1 game of a weekend, do you think you've made the right decision where you are?
Yes, 100%.
And what would you say to the boys and girls on the program if they get an opportunity to maybe look at something like this in the future? Would you endorse it? Would you recommend it?
Yeah,
Would you? Yeah,
I'd say 100% take it.
that's amazing, mate. Well, look, mate, that's half time over for me and you. The players are about to get back on the pitch, so we're gonna have to let you go. And
Awesome.
some exciting news, guys. Everyone who's tuning in, we're going to be doing a special edition of Half Time with Kai in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be coming live from Anfield from Liverpool versus Southampton during half time, and we're going to do half time with Kai for real. Does that sound good, mate? And you'll touch base with us, and
Awesome.
we'll take you to Anfield as our special guest, mate, and we've got a bit of a surprise for you as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate it.
All right, mate. You keep safe and keep me updated on the community, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, we will.
Thanks, Kai.
Bye-bye.
See you, mate. Look after yourself, eh?
Will do. Thank you.
I'll be in touch with mum and dad, mate, and I'll let you know how it goes, and I'll keep you updated for the Champions League final.
Awesome.